Hello everybody and welcome back to From the Desk of Studio Ultra. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2005 LEGO Bionicle set, Sidorak. Alright, so here is Sidorak right here, and the reason why I didn't do a build for him is the fact that, of course, that he is a Titan. There's a lot of pieces. I could have done a time-lapse build, but I already had them all assembled together, and I figured, you know what, why not? Just go ahead and review him like this. But yeah, Sidorak, guys, he's incredibly tall. I believe one of, if not the tallest set that I've reviewed on the channel so far, or that I am reviewing. You know that I did get Titan Takanuva, but of course he is not going to be in the series yet until later on, so until he is there, this is going to be the tallest. He is very tall. Very articulated, which is very nice, and I say very a lot because I don't know anything else to say. But other than that, he has some really neat details. One thing I have noticed about him though is he is a bit thin, but that you kind of just get distracted from it because of the sheer size of this figure. Let's go ahead and get into the articulation. Of course, we have some at the hips and the knees and the ankles, as well as the shoulders. Side to side movement here for some reason. The elbow here, there is no elbow on this side, and the shoulder is very loose right here, and it's for a reason. And also we have the head, which is very strange, and once again I will get to that in a moment. A cool thing about Sidorak is some of the certain details and design choices, that being of course that there is Visorak kind of limbs right here, which is really neat because of course he is or is supposedly the leader of the Visorak. However, he is kind of a beta. But anyway, he also has these nice little Metru shoes or feet, whatever you want to call it, right here. Some golly hooks here, Rakshi limbs, and other Metru design elements, as well as a little Matoran torso detail right on the chest here, which is super neat. I feel like there could have been a bit more Visorak elements added to this set just because the fact of his involvement with the Visorak, but it's still really good for what it's worth. A lot of unique and neat design choices. I especially love the fact that he is kind of like a giant Metru figure, just without the usual gear function. I love the way these shoulders look with these nice dark red Nuva shoulder armor on the side, as well as some really cool like gears on both sides. It makes it look very nice, very gritty looking in detail. The back, I must say, is probably the least exciting part of this build, just consisting of Technic beams that are completely exposed and kind of ugly looking. On to the contrary, his feet are absolutely loaded with so many different pieces. It's kind of hard to tell like where it starts and where it stops. It's quite crazy. But I really like though the utilization of all these like Technic elements in there, because as you can see on the legs back here, he has some nice little Technic beams here, as well as a Technic beam on the arm, on both arms in fact. By far what I think one of the weirdest details of this little set here, or big set actually, is this mask right here, or lack thereof, because it's kind of just this strange amalgamation of different pieces. You can see this slicer foot here in silver, a few little tubing pieces connected to these like Borak eyes that go through this Metru head. It's a very weird face design, but at least it's slightly coherent. It looks very gas mask like, of course, with the tubes and the very respirator looking mouthpiece here, and it just attaches in via this little axle. It's very strange, very interesting looking, almost insectoid like with these little Borak eyes, but hey, it kind of works in a way. One modification I had to do, unfortunately, for this set was the little friction joints here. Now, as you can see, I added those glorious CCBS friction joints in place of just the regular rubber friction joints, because of the amount of the exposed rubber and the type of rubber used in the original friction joints. It degrades over time, and it's kind of like a latex mask where it just loses its grip basically, and it starts to kind of just fall apart. And so, thankfully though, when you add these little modified CCBS friction joints, it helps it a lot better. And of course, those friction joints are there to keep this figure standing because of its sheer size and weight. It's unfortunate that I did have to make those modifications, but it's not a critique to the original design of the set, just because the fact that when this was released, it was way more functional in terms of friction joints to keep this set standing. Now let's go ahead and get into some of the features here. Now I would like to show you this feature here, and to give you an explanation why this arm is so loose. It is a bit of a con, but there is a reason behind it. It's because you're supposed to do this. As you can see, it flicks the blade forward and simultaneously extends it as well. You can do it manually if you want to, like that. And it looks really good. I like the blade extended. It gives it a nice little additional feature besides the Ratuka spinner, which I will elaborate further later. But yeah, as you can see here, the arm is primarily meant to just flick the blade forward in order to have it just extend without having to directly manipulate it with your hands. I'm not sure if I can get it with my thumb that easy. I think I have to use both fingers because it's a bit more powerful that way, and it actually gets the whole blade forward. It's a rather weird function, I must add, but it's a pretty good one for what it is. I think they could have done better, but you know, that's just me. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case. On this other side though, you have some elbow articulation, which I already spoke about, as well as some good friction here. Because this of course is not a flick forward weapon, and he's supposed to hold this out like this because it's a Ratuka spinner. You can pull out his two claws, and I think it looks better cosmetically with those claws out. But then you just open this thumb piece here, I guess, and then you give it a good pull, and it flies. And as I've said before with other sets with Ratuka spinners, it gets lost forever. When launching your Ratuka spinner, it is best that you follow it with your eyes so that way you don't lose it. It actually took me a while to look for it in between cuts, and while I was doing that, I actually had a thought that, yeah, this thing can definitely be a bit of an eyesore if you display the set with it, but thankfully it doesn't have to be a necessity if you're just displaying it and not using the function. You can just set it to the side in your pile of other Ratuka spinner little launcher ignition pin, I don't know. Although it can be an eyesore, you can just get rid of it, and boom, you have Sidorak just displayed with his weapons here, and he doesn't have to have that. Yeah guys, overall it's a pretty good set for what it's worth. It does have some flaws, I must say. It's just really thin. The, of course, aging friction joints, the weird cosmetic choices. But overall, when it all comes together, if you just don't look into the nitty-gritty and you just see the whole entire set, it's very imposing, very nice. I love the color scheme. I love the red and silver and black. And it's just got this really, really cool, unique look to it that I think I really enjoy and appreciate. But yeah guys, let me know in the comments section below what you think about this set. Comment down what other sets you might want me to review, or just other things in general. I don't just do Lego or Bionicle. I do a lot of other things in general. But yes guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.